back to Sorare Sunday. We're looking at the week of 25th of August to the 31st of August. Let's see how we did this week. Okay, so looking back at how we did last weekend, we did pretty well, to be honest. We got $5 in rewards, 1,191 in essence, and 4K in XP for our cards. And as you can see, it wasn't all limited. Got 100 rare essence and 500 XP rare. So we're getting a little bit in rare stuff. Eventually, we'll be able to do a rare craft, which will be quite cool. We're quite far off it now. We're 420. We need to get another 600 before we can do it, but we're getting there very slowly. So in terms of how we did with our weekend, you can see Premier League, we got 100 essence and 500 XP from this team, with Pickford and Romero doing the best. I've actually traded Romero, and I've done a full England. No, I haven't done a full Everton stack. So I think I've watched their last. I actually watched this game, the one against Brighton, and I just think that they've done quite well in the transfer market, and I think that they might be up there. Not necessarily, they're not going to win the league or anything, but I think they might be up there, maybe even mid-table challenging for some sort of European place if they can keep the sort of form and keep the way they're playing. Like, they do tend to self-sabotage sometimes, but I just thought they have something about them, especially with Grealish and Dye on the wings. They look dangerous. So yeah, I've got a stack for them, and hopefully they'll start or continue as they've started even. I've also got a stack for Fulham, as you can see, which only got 500 XP, but I again, they're a team which I quite like, and they've made some, or are making some transfers this week, which look like they might be quite special as well. I think they're getting Milan winger who might be coming in, and I think Sterling might be signing for them on like a loan or something. And a lot of people hate on Sterling, but I quite like him. I think he would fit the style of play as well. So an interesting one. My other teams didn't do so well. Hermansen's had a torrid start. Well, the whole of West Ham has had a terrible time, but Hermansen especially has not had a great time. But Dubravka doing very well. He's actually a surprise kind of highlight for. I thought Burnley were going to really struggle. They're doing quite well. All the newly promoted sides are doing quite well, and Dubravka seems to be a standout. I wonder if he'll win back his national starting spot, because I think he plays in Spain. Grief, I think his name is Dominic Grief, was taking his spot as the first choice keeper for Slovakia, isn't it? I wonder if he'll win that back over this international break. Ligue 1 didn't do great. I tried to do a Le Havre stack, thinking, hey, they might be all right. They're not all right, but I'm going to keep with them. I'm going to stick with Le Havre and see if we can get something from them. La Liga, I've started to trade away all of my La Liga cards. It's just not happening. I don't have enough money to invest fully in La Liga at the moment. It might be something I do later in the season, but at the moment, a Barcelona and Real Madrid stack just blowing me out of the water every week, so there's no point in trying with this team at the moment. And I've kept Agome just in case he does move to United, but if he doesn't, I'll probably trade him as well. Juniper Pro League, we were kind of ruined by the Man United. It looks like Man United are going to sign Lamens, and he was our keeper that we put in. If he would have played, I think we probably would have got something more than just XP. I think we've probably got some essence as well, but he didn't, so it just wasn't to be. That was not a bad team. I think Sommers is doing really well. He's just signed this season for Antwerp. He did well last season, and I think he's continuing that form, and he's going to be one of their standout players, I think, Antwerp. It depends on who they play in goal next, though, so it'll be interesting to see who they do play. And then Eredivisie, we got 100 essence from this team. Now, Heracles, Heracles, there you go. Heracles, I always get their name wrong. I call them Hercules instead of Heracles. Heracles did play Ajax, which is at home, hard game. So I expect them to do better, but they didn't do badly. Like 2-0, is not a great result, but like the scores wise, they didn't do too badly. We don't have a striker for them because I feel like they need to sign a striker, but we'll wait and see. And I couldn't afford anyone else, so I got in this Finnish young striker who's actually seems to be doing all right start of the season, so he seems pretty decent. But this team here, 765 essence for this team. Drommel having an absolute screamer of a game, getting 100. Uh, Clement getting 76 with a goal. Williamson getting a goal and a 60. Klaassen getting an assist and a 62. Our defender let us down, but getting 103rd for that and getting that much essence, I was pretty happy. So Eredivisie, it continues. I love the Dutch league, and I think it will just be the one which I do like the Belgian league as well, but I just something about the Dutch league, I just love following it. So I think I'll probably do better in this league than like a lot of the others. That being said, we won $5 using this team, as you can see, goal and a assist from Wagner. Andrew Rick coming in for an injured, I can't remember his name, Jamaican keeper. For Philadelphia, so he got 67 and a clean sheet, not too bad for a second choice keeper coming in. Son and Prince Owusu getting goals and getting really high scores. I was pretty happy with that. I thought that was a good 32nd is not too shabby. And then the rest of my MLS teams, pretty sure. Oh yeah, this one did all right and got me a 61 essence. The rewards for classic MLS is pretty pants, because obviously they're cancelling the rest of Classic. So I think it's probably them just winding it down. Like, you're not going to get a lot, so whatever sort of thing, you know? It's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And we also actually got 61 for this team as well, because Mosovitsky got a hat-trick and an 80. That's crazy. I didn't even notice that he got a hat-trick. Nice. It's nice when you're like cards which you don't use or don't really notice that much do quite well, isn't it? So then moving on to Challenger, we didn't do great. It's kind of a slap together team. I've done a little bit more trading and I'm putting together a more kind of Austrian league with the Rapid team being like my main focus. But Koulibaly is also kind of coming in as well, just because he's playing quite well at the moment. Contender, we did all right. I mean, our Contender rares we've got enough to do 2 J League Contender rare teams. So I'm going to keep playing those for the rest of the Japanese season, which I think ends near December this year. So we'll keep this going until the season ends and hopefully get something with... it's kind of like weird fixtures sometimes with the J League, so it can be a little bit hit and miss. I mean, I got quite unlucky with my defender, who's been playing quite well throughout the season, getting a 16, and I captained him, so it wasn't ideal, but... I have faith that my Contender rares will get me some essence at least. We'll see this weekend. So next week, we'll see if I do actually get any essence from it. A DMP kind of ruined me for getting rewards from Contender from this team. They're doing pretty well other than the DMP. So we go again sort of thing. Like, Contender just wasn't to be this week. I think with Sorare you have to take it on the chin that some weeks you're going to have like not good runs in certain leagues, and other weeks you're going to have great runs in both, like mainly all the leagues, and you're going to be like, I don't know what's happening, and then you're going to go back to reality and lose again and again sort of thing. So that's just the way fantasy football works, isn't it? So Champion, I'm not really sure why I'm doing Champion. I don't really have good enough cards to contend with like the big boys, so I've just put together a team because I've got spare cards, but those are just the dregs of what's left for me, really. A lot of classic cards, obviously. Under 23s did quite poorly this time, but actually, I say did quite poorly. Look at those scores there. If I had a keeper that started, potentially I would have got something decent from there. I think my under 23s might be a little bit of a quiet, because I think it's the only one. I think the only place I've won a card is under 23, so it might be a quiet, like kind of thing that brings in a lot of the moolah, or should I, essence, not moolah, essence and cards throughout the season, hopefully. But we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. And then All-Star, we did pretty well with this lineup. Pretty happy with that. I love that Neto card. The Celebrations one looks great. Got 102 for that. And then nothing else. And then midweek, we actually got something. We usually don't, but we managed with an all-star team to get 100 essence as well from this team that I put together. Like I said, the rapid lineup are the teams which are the players which I'm trying to get together a little bit. Lionel Messi coming in and getting 2 goals back from injury, so smashing it, and Allende getting a penalty, winning a penalty for the team, really helped us out there. Um, Hibs, I don't know what's going on. Like, I did see in the comments that someone said that Hibs are notoriously bad. So they had a surprisingly good run last season, but they're not. They will like kind of spaff it up quite a lot, and it's called doing a Hibs. So I'm gonna stick with them. I hopefully my Hibs stack mid season will go back and say, you know what, they've paid off. Rocky definitely doing very well at the beginning of the season, and Martin Boyle seeming to pick himself up after a rough start of the season, starting to score. And then Anderlecht did not do great either. Like some big teams which I thought would do well, not doing so great. So an interesting one, especially in Europe. It's interesting that some of these smaller teams from smaller nations are actually competing and beating them, which is fun to see. I love to see like the underdog doing well, but when it gets to league stage, which we're now at, it could be messy. It could be 8-0s and stuff like that for some of these poor smaller teams when they're playing like the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, the Man Cities, and people like that. But you never know. Some upsets could be on the cards. But we've just had a look at how we've done this week. I'm pretty happy with that. It means we've got loads of essence coming in. And we're now going to have a look at a player to watch. Okay, so I struggled a little bit at first thinking of a player to watch. And then I was thinking, like, lower down in, like, not the Premier League because they're quite expensive at the moment. And it's quite hard to know, like, starters. But I ended up picking a contender because I think contender's the more approachable league to get started in. And I chose Mikhail Nade? Nad? I'm not sure how you say it. But this guy seems to be, I mean, yes, he will have a shocker every now and then, but he seems to be pretty decent at getting some good scores. Looking at his scores currently in this season, 15 and then a 66 and a 66. It's not bad. If you look at the cards that you could pick up, he's not too expensive. If we just go in season, because you'll want an in season card, you can pick him up for $12.99, $11.55 for a defender who plays and plays well. And I think they're probably one of the favourites to be promoted. Might be a good one just to pick up and see how he does. And if you want to just go straight through Sorare, 15 quid. I mean, it's not as cheap as I've gone before, but it's quite hard at the moment because prices are higher. So I'm trying to give good, like, cheaper alternatives. But obviously, it's hard when prices are quite high in the market at the moment. They will drop. So if you don't want to pick them up yet, you could probably wait and his price might drop in the next like 2 months or so. But if you're looking to get in early, especially with the hot streaks, this is a guy to keep an eye on, I think. And yeah, I think he's probably going to start regularly for the team. He's 26, so he's not an old man who's going to retire or anything like that. He seems like he's got a fairly good record at getting clearances, goals, assists, and he just seems like a solid scorer for a team that should probably walk it this season in League Two in France. So I'm not sure, but every card you might pick is a risk, but he's just my player to watch. Okay, so we're going to go through to crafting a player. I meant crafting a card, but you know what I meant. Okay, so we are here in the crafting and we can get it started. I just will say as well, in terms of hot streaks, at the weekend I won, I think 4, and it ended up, or maybe 5, and I ended up getting £40 around about, and I reinvested that in cards anyway. So nothing left basically, but pretty good. I'm liking the hot streaks. They add another element to it, and the dailies are pretty good as well. So they're giving us a lot to keep us going at the beginning of the season. It'll be interesting to see how it goes near the end of the season when people aren't chucking loads of money in on cards. But hopefully it will still be good. So let's draw our first craft. People keep moaning about me using clues. I know, I use them. That's just how it's going to be. It's a standard craft. I will always do a league, just because I want to know what league I'm getting the card in. Boom. Because I don't really want a Bundesliga. I'm not putting together a Bundesliga team. I am putting an but I don't really need an I think Premier League is the ones that I go for. Eredivisie could be a good one, but it's just one card. If it's a trash one, I'm tempted to use my nationality, but I wish you could use just essence so that you could save a clue for like when it's more expensive, but you can't. I want to go Prem. Which one should I go? Top left, top bins, or one of the bottoms? I think I'm just going to use the nationality. I know people in the comments will be like, no! England, America, and England. Okay. I mean, England have, like, there's some very good English players, like Saka, Palmer, people like that, Pickford, so in different positions. So, but there's also like very cheap or non-cards who just don't play. America is an interesting one. I mean, we've got Anthony Robinson. Is it Anthony Robinson at Fulham? I think we have others. I don't know. I mean, he would be a handy one to have because I've got Fulham stack, but do I want to risk missing out on one of these guys? Finnish, Eredivisie. Interesting. I think there's a couple of good Finnish players in the Eredivisie. I want to go top bins. That's kind of my. I'm gonna go for it and hope that we get something good. I'll be annoyed if this is the Fulham left back, or is he right back? I can't remember. Let's just go for it. Oh, that's a trash pull, isn't it? Okay, I'm glad I didn't go America, because that is a keeper that does not play. Glad I didn't go bottom right, because that is a goalkeeper which doesn't play as well. So dodge 2 bullets there. I think the guy that I got was probably the best shout. I'm not really sure about this guy. He seems okay. I mean, this guy doesn't seem. I mean, he's the only 3-star there, but he doesn't seem to play. So I think Jaden Bogle actually seems to start for Leeds, and is a 2-star. So I'm not terribly upset with that one. We're gonna claim him. There we go. So we've got ourselves Jaden Bogle. And I said I'd be doing a video. So we're going to do another craft. Spend some of our essence. Down to 6k now in essence. Like I said, it's a standard again. I don't think I've got any specials yet. So we're going to spend 500 on a league reveal. Okay. 2 prems. I do like Juniper League. I call it Juniper every time. I can't pronounce it. It's ridiculous. It's like Jupiler, isn't it? I think I'm going to do a nationality just to be safe. Down to 5k essence now. Right, so we've got a German Prem player, a Japanese Prem player. We've got Belgian and is that Algerian? Yeah, Algerian. And then a Dutch could be anyone, couldn't it? French could be anyone. Spanish La Liga. I mean, you always think Lamine Yamal, but could be anyone as well. And I'm not going La Liga. We're just gonna cut La Liga out. If it is someone amazing, I'm gravitating to Japan Prem because I'm trying to think. There's the Minimo. No, not Minute. Yeah. Ooh, who is it? Brighton winger. Mitoma. There you go. I mean, it could be Mitoma, Endo. Could be Kamada. Could be that new defender for Tottenham. Takia, or it could be Tanaka for Leeds. Like, I don't think there's a bad one there. And if I'm not thinking of anyone, like, I mean, best case scenario, I think is Matoma. Worst case scenario is the defender for Tottenham who doesn't play. So I think that's probably best bet. Who are the German play? I mean, there's Havertz, there's Leno. I mean, there is Wirtz, isn't there? And then, but there's German players which are just no good. I mean, if it's Wirtz though, I'd be so annoyed. Like, I think the upside to German Prem is a lot more than Japanese Prem, but Japanese Prem is a little bit more certain on like getting a good player in. Oh, it's hard. I think I'm gonna go German Prem in the hope that I hit gold and get Wirtz. If not, I could get. I mean, I think there's players I'm not thinking of. Havertz isn't a bad shout either. I mean, he's injured at the moment, but he could come back and play well in the second half of the season. Let's go for it. Oh, what a terrible pull that was. Oh, no. Okay, well, Endo wasn't much better. I mean, he was way better. Let's be honest. He wasn't the Japanese player I was looking for. He doesn't play regularly, does he, for Liverpool? Or as much. I think Nathan De Cat I've already got, so I'm not overly upset at losing him. Pereira I've already got as well. So in terms of crafts, there wasn't any players there that I'm really like chasing after. So we're going to claim him still. And we'll have a look at him. I've never heard of him, to be fair. Alright, it's taken ages to load my cards to say that I've got them. So we're just going to go onto their player profiles and have a look at them. So, Bogle, look, did they sign him from... No, he is a Leeds player, but he's wearing a Sheffield United jersey in the picture. So when did he... Looks like he played all of last season for him, and regularly. I mean, he's had a rough start. They're going to struggle this season, Leeds, aren't they? Because they're newly promoted. Arsenal is always going to be a hard game. But, I don't know. He looks like he can get in there with assists and goal line clearances and goals and stuff. So he's probably not a bad shout. And he's 2-3 quid's worth of a player. So, Jayden Bogle, I'm not upset with. I think that's an alright pull. Let's have a look at our other player. Right, so we have got Eric da Silva Morea. Not a very German name, is it? He has played a couple of times off the bench last season, but like very rarely. He's only worth like 80p. He's a forward. Probably won't go on loan from the looks of it if he hasn't yet, but we'll keep an eye on that. He's just dross, isn't he? He's just going to sit in my cards pile and not be used unless he becomes one of them standout players like midway through the season. Nottingham Forest are playing multiple competitions. They're playing in Champions League and in Premier League and in FA Cup and Carabao and everything. So they're going to need quite a lot of depth. Maybe he's a player that they bring on more regularly this season. So he might not be a bad shout later on in the season, but yeah, it's not a great pull. I'm not going to lie. I keep seeing all these things on social media of people pulling the absolutely amazing cards. I'm just not that guy, apparently. I'm not getting them. So, unfortunately, we're stuck with these pulls. But we've at least got one usable player there. So, thank you for watching. We're going to finish there. Come back next week where we're going to have a look at the first week of the international break. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out because I don't think they're doing actual competitions for the international break. They're just doing All-Star and Arena, which I won't touch because it annoys me. But this weekend we have got full Premier League, Liga, and La Liga, Bundesliga. Everyone's playing. So we will be able to hopefully get some more essence brought in. We'll do a couple more crafts and we'll just see how it all plays out. With those ones, I'm hoping at some point we're going to get a killer craft, but it took me until the end of last season to get Salah, and I did crafts basically every week if I could, so it's going to take a while to get a good craft, unfortunately, but we're going to keep going. Let me know in the comments if you've got any suggestions for like tactics that you're playing, like clubs that you think are slept on or anything like that. And if you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see in these videos other than what I'm currently doing, and thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.